Hey guys, it's Ben with Living in Central Florida, and today I am giving you a map tour here in the office because it is freezing outside. Y'all need to come get your cold front. It is snowing in Florida. I'll go over that in just a minute here. But let's jump on the computer. I'm going to show you where Davenport is, some of the communities, what's nearby, why so many of you guys are interested in living in Davenport, Florida. Let's get to the computer. All right, guys, we are on the computer here for a map tour. Sorry, phone call. Come and get your weather. It is freezing down here. I'm in the office today. We're not doing a community tour because it is in the 40s outside. Not for Florida, that's cold. We are up in the Panhandle, not down here in Central Florida, getting a lot of snow yesterday. Pretty crazy. I've never seen anything like this before, being born and raised here. A lot of stuff going on up here, 5.5 inches. I know it's not what you guys have up there, but if you are moving to Florida to get away from that, it's here. But it doesn't happen often. This is, I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, but pretty rare. But today we are going over Davenport. Davenport is located right here, kind of in the crosshairs of I-4 and 27. I-4 runs east to west from Daytona to Tampa, and 27 runs all the way down to South Florida and all the way up, I believe, to Maine. So you can go either direction, any direction right here pretty quickly. And what I'm going over is what's near here, why you might like this place, why you might not like this place. I'm going to go ahead and jump right now in front of all the red that you see here on I-4. I-4 near Orlando is probably one of the worst roads, just because all the tourism, in my opinion, that's what it is. People come here like crazy year round to see the mouse at Disney, to go to Animal Kingdom, to go to Universal, to go to all of that. Just even being in Orlando, just that's what goes on. There's so much to do here, and there's just always traffic because people are coming here. And part of the reason why we don't have to pay a state income tax is because of the tourism dollar that is spent here. So Davenport, if you are looking to be close to Disney, very good idea for you, because it can be, if you're up here in the Four Corners area, Davenport goes all the way up just about to 192. You can be 10 minutes to Disney, or a little bit farther down here, I'm just going to Posner Park. We're going to talk about Posner Park, about 35 minutes, and that's with the traffic that is right here at Champions Gate coming into Reunion. So not very far to get to Disney. And it is also not very far to get to Orlando International Airport. So if you are a frequent flyer and need to be close to Orlando International Airport, you are looking at less than an hour, and that is including this traffic. If you fly out early in the morning, late at night, you could probably make that drive in 35 minutes. It's a piece of cake, minus the traffic. So something to keep in mind. Now, I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but the I-4 expansion projects are being fast-tracked. Moving I-4 forward program, $635 million being spent to stretch I-4 out, make it a lot bigger, and add the express lanes. Now, there are some express lanes. They are closer to the attractions and more east of Orlando, kind of where they don't need to be, doesn't make any sense. But if they connect this all the way through where you could get on an express lane here at, say, 27 and just bypass all that, if you were headed to the beach or going over to see a SpaceX launch at Kennedy Space Center, be a piece of cake to hop on these express lanes and just go. So you can see they're going from a 3-lane on each line, 6-lane total, to what is that, a 10-lane with 2 express lanes. So really amping up I-4 in the area that it needs it the most. Another I-4 project, so we're getting a lot of messages here. Over towards Lakeland, another project there. So if you are going over towards Tampa, and I'll talk about that drive here in just a second, a lot of projects coming to that. There is also pretty consistent traffic along 27 here, along all these lights, and they are talking about taking 429 here. This is a toll road, and connecting it down to 17, and eventually doing something that would take it all the way down to 60. This is just a study that is going on. They just this week and last week have done some public opinion meetings to get an idea. So this is kind of, you can see what I'm talking about, connecting 429 to 17, and then they have 4 different paths kind of picked where there would be Polk Parkway East from 60 to 1792. So the Polk Parkway is currently undergoing, let me jump over here, I know this isn't really Davenport related, but just so you get an idea of what's going on here, they are where 570 is the Polk Parkway. It is going to wrap around Lake Hancock, come down, cross over 17, and it is eventually going to connect somewhere right down here at 60 by a humongous new neighborhood they're building in. This video is not about that. But you could come down here, get on 60, and then somewhere here in Lake Wales, they're talking about having it pick back up, take you past Haines City, getting you back up here onto 17, and eventually back up here to 429. So whenever that happens, if it does happen, it will make getting up to Disney super, super easy and will really alleviate a lot of pressure for traffic here on 27. Now, if you are like me and you prefer to run over to Tampa versus going to Orlando because the traffic's a little bit better, you're looking at about an hour. The traffic here is nowhere near as bad. There is where I-4 dumps off at 275 right here. Typically always some slowdown because you have the Crosstown Expressway that dumps off, and a lot of people are coming from south of Tampa and need to go north, so they have to go across all 4 of the lanes, and that's just kind of a mess. But it's not that bad showing right here. You can see there's a little bit of a slowdown getting over to Tampa, getting over to the West Coast beaches, Clearwater or St. Pete, Indian Rocks, all of this. A lot of beautiful beaches over here. Fort DeSoto Park, you need to go check out if you're coming down. That's my favorite place to go, right over here. Beautiful views, awesome beach. A little bit less populated than Clearwater. Clearwater's kind of the touristy area because it is close to the Tampa International Airport, where you just hop over here on 60, you're at Clearwater. Very pretty, a lot of stuff to do, very touristy. So it depends on what you like. I'm not a huge fan of the super crowded stuff, so that's not for me. But if you love being around tons of people and having a lot of stuff going on, go to Clearwater Beach. So back up here to Davenport. Davenport runs up to 192 and then all the way down here to basically 17. Just Haines City is in here, but Davenport takes up most of this area. And just so you're aware, the farther south you go, the more affordable it is. If you are looking up here close to Four Corners, you are probably going to spend $50,000 to $100,000 more for about the same home that you would get closer down here to Haines City. So it does get more affordable the farther south you go, and that is just because you are farther away from the attractions. So if you are trying to go to the attractions all the time, you might want to look at being up here. If you want to save a little bit of money, you might want to come a little bit farther south, more into Polk County. So if you are, let me jump off of here. If you are looking, consider the distance from Posner Park to where you're going to end up, because Posner Park has just about all of your shopping. I have a list pulled up here. If you really want to know everything that's in here, Google Posner Park, Posner. It has everything. Some of the notable ones: Hobby Lobby, Best Buy. There's a big movie theater there, Cineplex, Dick's Sporting Goods. There's a Target. There is Bell's Outlet. Just tons of shopping. Everything is right up there. You can kind of see, just to get an idea. This list just keeps going. There's food. There is entertainment. There is basically everything that you can need. That is right here. This used to be boardwalk and baseball growing up. So it has just completely taken over and is now Posner Park. And then there's tons more room out here for future development. So it's just going to keep on growing, keep on growing, keep on growing. Just because of its proximity, just being southwest of Orlando and everything that has to offer. So you can be away from it, but still close enough to jump up to Orlando when you need to. Talk about all that. Oh, Advent Health is your hospital. So if you are looking here, this is the main hospital. There are other hospital or health buildings all around here with different types of options. You have all the doctors that you could find, all of the medical services that you need, all along 27. Everything's super close. There's Publix's, there's Aldi's, there's no Trader Joe, there's no Costco. There's a BJ here at Posner Park. Sorry if I'm going a little fast. BJ's Wholesale Club is out here. You have your Amazon warehouse is super close right here. There's a couple of them. The Walmart warehouse is right there. A lot of distribution happens right here in this corridor. And along I-4 is where they are eventually talking about the high-speed rail connecting all the way from Orlando International Airport all the way over to Tampa. So there would be, at some point, hopefully, stops along here where you could run all the way up to the Orlando International Airport. That runs all the way 528 all the way over to A1A and down to Miami. So something that's in the works but is not here yet. So a lot of growth possibilities for Davenport. This area has absolutely exploded. My last video, if you are subscribed, was on Providence Golf Club. A lot of luxury homes coming in out here. So you can get, I mean, there's something for everybody. You can find townhomes in the 200s, single family homes, I think up to like $6 million for a big, huge Airbnb spot. I'll go over some homes here in just a minute. Let's see what else is on my list. We have already talked about the road projects. That's just something that's going to take time, but know that it is being worked on. Everybody that lives here complains about all the people moving here, and traffic is bad. Traffic is bad everywhere. But if you're coming from New York or New Jersey, where it's like 2 hours to get to work, there's a lot. This is where everybody's coming from. A lot of people are coming up here from the Northeast, coming down in here, where you're talking, an hour and a half, 2 hour commute to get to work each way. Not really happening here. So a lot of people coming in from New York, a lot of people from Miami. I'm getting a lot of calls. You guys are reaching out to me. If you are making this move, I'd be happy to help. 863-333-5053, or schedule a call with me. We can jump on and go over this and do this specifically for you. But a lot of Miami people, a lot of New York people are calling, reaching out. Tired of it, especially with the cold. Can't really say, oh, hey, come down here and be warm, because it's 47 degrees outside right now. But at least it's not snowing here in Central Florida. So let's talk some stats. Let me go back up here. Median sales price is down just a little bit from the peak. We're down to $343,000. That is down 4.1% year over year. But this, pre-COVID, where you could buy a nice 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bath home for $250,000, those days are gone, unfortunately. So what you're looking at is around $340,000, $350,000. Now there could be some changes there, but let's just add Orlando to this. 391, so you can see we're a little bit lower there. Let's add Tampa, just to give you an idea. 462. So you're saving some money by living over here in Davenport versus living in some of the bigger cities. Orlando, that number probably needs to be higher if you were to do like Winter Park, for example. 620. So pretty significant. I know that's not a direct comparison because of the exclusivity of Winter Park, but a lot of different options. We can find you something. All the different builders are here. We can find pretty much anything that you want in Davenport. So interesting to see you guys where you're coming from, and that most people that are leaving Davenport are staying pretty close, not going too far, headed up to South Carolina, North Carolina, but not a whole lot. So mostly people coming in here. And that's great because it brings us a whole bunch of new stuff. Let me jump back out of my stats here. Sorry about that. There are currently 1,741 homes for sale here in Davenport, ranging from townhomes, condos, single-family homes. There is something for everybody. And I'm not going to go over all of it because that's just way too many homes to talk about. So if you're interested in making the move here, let me know. Hit the Calendar link down below and we can talk about it. We can find you the perfect home that's close enough to the parks, but far enough away that you don't have to deal with the Orlando traffic every day. Just out of curiosity, let's see the most expensive. Yeah, it's that rental. That's what I thought. This is an Airbnb. I talked about it in one of my lives a while back. So this one doesn't really count. We should take that out. Pretty crazy house though. Jump back. Up to about $2 million in Solterra. This is still a something you need to know about. There are communities here that are Airbnb friendly, short-term rental friendly. So if you are wanting to move here and you don't want the house next to you to be a short-term rental where you have somebody coming and going all the time and everybody next door is always on vacation when you're trying to work, it's a little frustrating. I get it. just be mindful of that. So let me know if you want that or you don't want that when you call, so we can kind of figure something out for you and keep you either in or out of that short-term rental community, because it can go both ways. Um, Under 100, you're under 200 really, you're looking at manufactured homes. Uh, that's kind of typical. Really starts to get up to 200 before you start seeing some condos. But then the problem with the condos, they're a little bit more affordable. That's not a condo that I was looking for. Um, you start to get into a very high HOA. So, for example, $179,000. This one here in Bahama Bay looks great. It's a resort, lots of stuff going on. There is no CDD. That is good. HOA is $561 a month. So, the home's cheaper, HOA is a lot higher. So that's something that we would have to consider for you and what you're looking for. But probably going to wrap this up. If you guys have any questions, you know how to reach me. I would love to be your resource for making your move here to Central Florida. Lived here my whole life. I'd be happy to help you. 863-333-5053. See you next week.